So this is another reading from the book Pieces, 52 Short Stories While Being Human. This is chapter 33, Silence. Something that I find quite rare nowadays with my little one. You'll probably hear him in the background. Hope there'll be no screaming, just quiet playing, but you know, there's always hope. Here we go. So the reading, it was hard to find a bit that to read because it kind of flows really nicely, and again I was tempted to read the whole chapter, but I managed to figure it out, I think. So let's start with that and see how we go, where it takes us. Silence has an infinite potential. It can be golden or perhaps oppressive. It could be enveloping or crushing, pregnant, loud, beautiful, restful, lonely, meditative, ringing, uncomfortable, embarrassed, dead, and alive. It is often welcomed and sometimes feared. Without silence, there'd be no sound, no music. Silence is the space that holds all sounds, like a ball of wool that contains all the knitting patterns within it. All it takes to bring a pattern into reality are the tools, the knitting needles, and the maker's imagination. It is just the same with the sound that comes from silence. All you need is a tool like your voice or musical instrument, and your imagination to create music, the most beautiful of the sounds contained in a woolen ball of silence. Well, in my opinion, anyway. So that's kind of how I see silence. Silence, the space in between sounds. It's the space that holds the sounds. And without the silence, the sound wouldn't exist, because you need, it's the pauses in music that give you rhythm, that give you the musicality. So it's the little gaps that kind of give meaning. It's, even in speech, the way you pause, where you make a break, your intonation, like it's got tiny moments, or sometimes bigger ones, of silence, and that's what gives everything meaning. So I think silence is really important. Having said that, I think it's incredibly hard, if not impossible, to achieve hearing complete silence on this planet. There's always the kind of humming and buzzing of it existing, like even if you're in a really remote place, like maybe some island, or middle of woods, there still be sounds of wind and trees and birds and insects, or the sea, or a creek bubbling in the background. So it doesn't have to be just noises made by humans and their inventions. There's always some kind of noise going on. And just some of the noises are a bit more pleasing. So we don't mind them, and we include them in that restful, beautiful silence. Yeah. And what I found handy is when I was learning to meditate on a silent retreat. Yes, baby. It was learning not to judge sounds, not to make them bad or good, to just accept them as they are. And then that takes away that irritation, that need to find silence. You're then able to discover it within you whenever you need to. I'm not saying it's easy. It takes a lot of practice, and I still struggle with it a bit. Actually, the only time I really achieved the kind of ringing silence, that when you're really inside and the mind is quiet and the sounds around you don't bother you, you really focus in. For me, that's the sound of silence, and I only achieved it on that retreat, and it was a week of just sitting down and meditating and focusing. So it was kind of hard work, and I haven't really been able to maintain it the way I envisaged when I was there. Sorry, baby. You little rascal. here we go. But yeah, it's interesting, and I think in the chapter I really explore it, and kind of how I view it, and the origins of the sound of silence, and how I view it, and everything. For me, that's really actually quite interesting chapter, and I wonder what you think about it. So why don't you have a read and let me know? And if you're a parent like me, silence is not always golden, as you know. Sometimes hearing sounds in the background, and little screeches and little cries and little noises, it's the better option. When it's silent, that's usually your favorite watch in a toilet, and your favorite child in the bin. So yeah, it's been interesting being a parent, and gave silence a new meaning. So let me know what's yours, and how you view it, and how important silence to you, whether silence embarrasses you. So if you have a conversation and there is the natural break in, when people kind of run out of things to say and don't necessarily think straight away of something else, silence ensues. And how do you find it? Do you find it difficult? Do you have the need to fill it in and just say whatever, just so there is no silence? There's another aspect of it, and that I kind of enjoy. I do like making it happen and see what people do. You kind of really can tell what a person's like in their life if you create a silence and wait what they do with it. Some people just let it be and are comfortable with it. Some people let it be but are not comfortable with it. Some people fill it in, and some people just walk away. The book flow. So yeah, it just depends how you view it, and what kind of personality you have, how you be dealing with it, as well what kind of experience you have. You're prone to anxiety, or you're quite chilled, are you experienced meditator? Yes, baby. This one is a silence filler for now. And you're filling it with these little screams at the moment of joy, so it's all good. So yeah, let me know. I'm really interested, because I found silence fascinating, and how we use it and how we respond to it and react to it. It really fascinates me. So do let me know what you think of this, and have a good day. Woo. Okay, bye bye.